Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another defining chapter in the remarkable ascent of Alex Eala, a chapter that once again reminds us that her journey on the WTA Tour is no longer about promise alone. It is about arrival, consolidation, and the steady construction of a career that is beginning to demand global attention. Under the bright lights of Dubai, against a field stacked with experience and power, the 20-year-old Filipina has delivered a run that speaks volumes, not only about her present level, but about where she is headed next. This week began in the round of 64, a stage that can often feel routine for established stars, but remains a proving ground for rising contenders. Across the net stood Hailey Baptiste, a dangerous and athletic opponent capable of disrupting rhythm and extending rallies. From the opening exchanges, Eala demonstrated clarity of purpose. She was composed, measured, and assertive when it mattered most. She absorbed pressure, redirected pace with her left-handed patterns, and showed the kind of tactical maturity that has become a hallmark of her recent performances. The victory was not merely a scoreline advancement. It was a statement of readiness. She had arrived in Dubai prepared to compete deep into the tournament. Advancing into the next round, the challenge intensified. Jasmine Paolini, one of the tour's most relentless competitors, stood in her path. Paolini's speed, counterpunching ability, and fighting spirit make her a formidable test for any player, particularly on hard courts where tempo can swing in an instant. Yet Eala rose to the occasion with poise. She dictated when opportunities presented themselves, trusted her ground strokes in pressure moments, and maintained composure during tense exchanges. That victory resonated far beyond the match itself. It was another affirmation that Eala is not intimidated by established names. She belongs in these battles. Then came Sorana Cirstea, a seasoned competitor with years of tour-level experience and the capacity to flatten out rallies with clean, penetrating strikes. Against Cirstea, Eala's discipline shone. She managed momentum shifts, controlled the geometry of the court, and demonstrated the patience required at the highest level. The straight sets triumph was clinical and assured, marking her second WTA 1000 quarterfinal appearance and further reinforcing the consistency that has defined her season. Afterward, Eala spoke with calm satisfaction about staying composed and trusting her shots. Those words encapsulated the transformation we are witnessing. This is no longer a young player hoping things go right. This is a competitor who understands her patterns, her strengths, and her identity on court. The Filipino supporters once again turned center court into a sea of passion and pride. Flags waved, chants echoed, and the emotional energy in the stadium was unmistakable. For Eala, that support provides warmth and inspiration, but she has been clear in her mindset. Whether in front of thousands or in relative quiet, her commitment remains the same. She competes until the final point. She fights for every game. That internal resolve, more than any external factor, is fueling her steady climb. The quarterfinal brought perhaps the most formidable test yet, Coco Gauff. A multiple Grand Slam champion, a top-tier athlete with explosive movement and relentless consistency, Gauff represents the modern elite of women's tennis. From the outset, it was clear that this would require Eala's absolute best. Gauff's ability to absorb pace, counter with depth, and accelerate rallies placed constant pressure on every exchange. Eala battled with courage and intelligence, but the American's precision and power ultimately proved decisive. The scoreline reflected Gauff's edge on the day, closing the door on what had been an inspiring run. And yet, even in defeat, the larger narrative shines brighter than any single result. Because this week in Dubai was never solely about one quarterfinal. It was about trajectory. It was about confirmation. It was about numbers that now tell a story impossible to ignore. Alex Eala now finds herself at world number 32 in the WTA live rankings. Let that sink in for a second. World number 32, at just 20 years old. World number 32 in global women's tennis. This is still the live ranking, yes, but will become official on Monday next week. When that confirmation arrives, it will not simply mark another incremental improvement. It will signify a leap forward in stature, expectation, and opportunity. She began this tournament ranked outside that bracket, positioned among the competitive middle tier. 3 commanding victories later, she stands on the doorstep of an even more exclusive echelon. Breaking into the top 40 was once considered a milestone. Now she's pressing firmly toward the top 30. That progression is neither accidental nor fleeting. It is the product of accumulated lessons, sharpened instincts, and a belief that has grown stronger with every deep tournament run. Cast your mind back to last season's hardcourt breakthrough in Miami, where Eala stunned established champions and propelled herself into the top 100. That moment announced her presence. This current rise to world number 32 confirms her staying power. It proves that her ascent was not a spark, but a steady ignition. Each round this week reinforced different aspects of her evolution. Against Baptiste, she displayed control. Against Paolini, she demonstrated resilience and tactical adaptability. Against Cirstea, she showed composure under sustained pressure. Even against Gauff, she gained invaluable experience measuring herself against one of the sport's benchmark competitors. These are not isolated achievements. They are layers being added to a foundation. What makes world number 32 so significant is not merely the number itself. It is what it unlocks: direct entries into the biggest tournaments, more favorable draws, recognition that opponents must prepare specifically for her patterns and left-handed spin. It changes how she is perceived across locker rooms. It alters the narrative around her name. And beyond the statistics lies something deeper. In the Philippines, a nation where tennis has historically fought for mainstream attention, her climb is transformative. Each ranking milestone reverberates back home. Young athletes watch and imagine. Families follow her matches across time zones. With every breakthrough, she expands the boundaries of possibility. The defeat to Gauff does not stall this momentum. If anything, it sharpens it. Encounters against elite opposition illuminate areas for refinement. Serve placement under pressure, return aggression against top-tier pace, point construction against counterpunchers. These are lessons that accelerate growth. The path of a future contender is rarely linear. It is built on experiences like this. Looking ahead, the implications are profound. As world number 32, soon to be officially confirmed, Eala steps into a new phase of expectation. She will no longer be viewed simply as an emerging story. She is now a contender capable of reaching quarterfinals and beyond at WTA 1000 events. Opponents will approach her matches with heightened focus. Matches will become more strategically layered. Margins will tighten. But if this season has revealed anything, it is that she adapts quickly. Her climb is not only vertical in ranking. It is symbolic of a broader shift within women's tennis. The sport is expanding its global reach, welcoming talent from regions once underrepresented at the highest levels. Eala's success embodies that evolution. She stands as proof that dedication, preparation, and belief can bridge geographical and historical gaps. As Dubai fades into the rearview mirror, what remains is clarity. This was not a week defined by a quarterfinal loss. It was a week defined by confirmation, by arrival, by numbers that now speak for themselves. World number 32. Let that sink in. And remember, it is still the live ranking, poised to become official on Monday next week. For a 20-year-old who continues to challenge ceilings and rewrite expectations, this is not a destination. It is a launch pad. The climb continues. The belief deepens. And the tennis world watches with growing anticipation. Because Alex Eala is no longer knocking at the door of the elite. She is stepping through it.